Yo, what's up YouTube? Today I've got my RevTech board that I'm gonna get set up onto a mining rig, and I have these 3D printed stands that I did on my 3D printer here. And what I'm going to do is I have 4 of them printed that are vacant right now, and I'm gonna put the other one in the middle. But this has my RevTech board on it. Now this can support up to 8 GPUs. I'm gonna have it on Hive OS, and pretty much I have 4 GPUs here. So anyone that remembers my videos, I had my 6600 XT ASRock, my 6600 XT Gigabyte that I purchased. And recently today I went to Micro Center and I was able to pick up 2 6600s. I have an Asus Dual that I'll put on the rig, and my big purchase was not really big, but MSI Mech one. Now the yellow sticker from Micro Center is open box. So I was able to pick this up for sub 400 USD. I have 4 old risers that I'm going to use. They're going to be 6-pin powered. I have some splitters I'm going to use. Now I have right here with it a 750 watt HP server power supply. This is a platinum rated power supply that I'm going to use on it. But right now what I have to do is I got this RevTech board from Red Panda Mining. Awesome guy. Check his channel out. I'm sure if you're watching this channel, you've seen his. Check his channel out. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to boot this board up on my monitor here. I'm going to have to run a first run command. I have my laptop over here to get it into my Hive OS. I'm going to run a first run. Then I'm going to run a command to update it to the latest Hive kernel, just so that I can run these cards and I know that they will boot into it. Then I'm gonna get the cards onto these. Now these, the 3D printed one came with, I don't have one handy because I think I threw it all out. I don't see one sitting here. I had 3D printed like pins that dropped in here to hold the GPU, and I didn't like them too much because they didn't hold them too well. So I have a couple different kinds of screws. I have a couple thumb screws here that usually go in the back of a normal PC case, and I have a couple screws that normally hold like a power supply onto the back of the case. And what I did was I took my impact gun over here, and anyone that's seen me build knows I'm a huge DeWalt fan. I always buy DeWalt. So what I did was the little hole that was for the pin, I used my impact gun. I slowly like that just drilled into this because it is plastic. So it drilled in pretty easily and screwed in. And then since it only has, I don't know if you can see from that far away, but there's only 1 pin. So I have up here, this is an old GPU of mine. It is a 1060 3GB card. It doesn't work anymore. So what I would do is I'll hold this in and I'll mount it. And then I'll use my drill over here that I have. And I believe I have a 5/64 bit drill bit on it, and I'll drill another hole to mount a second. I'm gonna mount a second screw onto it. Now, the reason I have I want to do a second screw is this one has 2 on it, so it doesn't wobble back and forth. With just one, I was getting a little wobble back and forth. So if I needed to move this stand for any reason, it would wobble back and forth the card. I don't want that. I mean, even though it's going to be sitting on top next to my ASIC miner for a while, I just don't want it moving back and forth or having that chance, just in case something were to happen. I mean, you really never know what is going to happen. So, I mean, if somebody bumps this shelf accidentally, I don't want it moving back and forth at all. But I do leave that card up there because I use it to build. So if I'm building a custom mining frame, I know where to put the holes and I can use that card. And I usually just drill with it on it. That way, if I do mess it up, puncture the card or anything, or, you know, slip up and hit the card anyway, I'm not damaging a card that's working. I'm damaging a card that's already damaged and not working. So not that big a deal. Now this does just have a regular breakout board because this RevTech is powered by a 6-pin power connection. So I just have to get this up and running. So I'm gonna pretty much do a lot of this off camera. But like I said, right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boot this up, run a first run command prompt, added it to my farm. Once I can see it, I'm gonna set it over on top of my shelf over here, and I'll show you that when it's done. Then I'm gonna get it on my laptop, watch it from here, and try and fine tune it Actually, I'll probably have to do it from my laptop. We'll see. But, you know, right now that's what I'm going to do. So right now I'm just going to run the first command. So I'll be back in a little bit in this video. All right, so I did first run, and when I did it, it looks like it updated to the most up-to-date version of Hive OS. Now, it's probably not the most up-to-date kernel, but it's okay. And I do have it registering in my laptop. Now, it's pretty easy to do. When you run first run, you log in, and at your main monitor screen where you see all of your rigs, there's a little plus button in the top corner. Hit the plus, and it's going to give you a rig ID, and it's also going to give you a password that you just type in the Hive OS, so it's pretty simple to do. Obviously, my flight sheet's empty. It's running. It's not looking as clear as it would on other ones, but I don't expect much graphics-wise out of this rig, especially on this board. So we will see how it does. But right now, what I'm going to do is get the rest running. I'm going to grab more cables, get these unboxed onto the rig, and I will show you them, and then I'll get it up and mining, and we'll look at it on my laptop and see how it's doing. Now I'm just gonna look up basic overclocks people are using just to get it going, and then I'll fine tune it over the next few days. But let me go ahead and get this. I still gotta drill one more hole in each one of these and get it screwed. Now I am short, looks like one screw right now, so I had to dig one out in my spare parts shelf that's sitting over here. But let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you the rig, and then we'll look inside the computer at it mining after I plug in some overclocks, and I'll show you it all up and running. And I'm pretty excited to have this rig going. Now I'm hoping this power supply doesn't get too loud. I'm assuming I'd be running under 500 watts out of this power supply. I don't know how much this power draw is, but I know these will be running. So I actually should be running under 400 if these are pulling the power it says at the card from what it reports inside the miners from what people are showing me. But we'll see. But I'm gonna get them going, get them mining, and hopefully get it stable and going. But let's do that, and I'll show you it mining. All right, so here's the rig. It's up and running. As you can see, all 4 cards are up there. It's a little dark, but you can see the cards are running. None of them really have LEDs on them, which is not a terrible thing, except for that one. You can see it up there. You can see the Gigabyte logo, but the rest don't really have any type of LEDs on them. But it is booted in the Hive. I just have to get it mining. So let's go ahead and check out the computer over here. And you can see right now I don't have anything on it, but you can see the RebTech. So right now I don't have anything on it, but you can. So right now I don't have anything on it, but you can see the RebTech with them listed in there, and it's in my farm. I named it RebTech. I just have to get it mining. I might have to do a kernel reboot because for some reason it will not load up these, and it may be an improper driver up there, but I'm not sure yet. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that and try and get this up and running. So see what I can do. All right, so I have the command line running, so it's installing the new kernel, and I picked the most up-to-date kernel. So I typed in the command hive replace -- list, and I'll show it to you once I remote into this, so I could pick the one kernel. You can see the OpenCL driver that on the stable one, so hopefully this one helps with getting it up and running. So I think I have a driver issue from an old kernel. So once this is done downloading and installing, looks like I'm at 100%. I'll get the miner going and see if it works. So these are stock clocks on it right now, but I did get it mined. It's using Team Red Miner, obviously, so it's probably pulling some good power right now. Let's refresh this and see what it's saying. So not crazy actually. So I just have to do some tweaking. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to do it off camera, and I'll show you guys a video later on once I get it stable. But it is up and mining, so I have one more rig online. That's two 6600 XTs on there and a 6600 or two 6600s. And like I said, so it's going pretty decent right now, a little over 100 mega hash, but I should be able to get, I would say, 120 mega hash out of the total rig and we'll give you one more shot of it over there. There it is, pretty much sitting there going. So I do need to turn, the fans aren't spinning on that one, on the Asus Dual, so I'm gonna have to get that one going. But I'm just happy to have gotten it mining and going. But you know, thanks for checking this video out. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like the hoodie I was wearing in this video, check out the merch store in the description below. Thanks for checking it out. Stay tuned for more.